Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for my February Tuesday tip. Let's see where everyone's from. I see a lot of people coming in. I do not think I am streaming to my Facebook page. I don't know if you've noticed this, but recently Facebook has made some changes to some business pages. Mine is one of them. And they're rolling out what they're calling their new page layout, something that I really don't like, but it's a forced change, so I can't do anything about it. I had a problem with my live, the last one that I did streaming to the page. So all right now I can see are people commenting from YouTube. So if somebody wanted to go into my group or onto my page and, comment that you're going to have to go to YouTube to watch it, I would appreciate that. It's something that Facebook has done, and I can't do anything about it. This event that I'm doing right now, I created right before they did the change on my page. So I'm thinking that might have something to do with it. So if you can tell everyone else that it's going to be just on YouTube, I would appreciate it. So this is my Tuesday tip. I'm doing this every first Tuesday of the month in 2023. So I see we got Joanne Bakos here. Good morning, Joanne. Thanks for joining me. Lori, Caroline, thanks for being here. Kathy, Marianne, Barbara Jones from Houston, thanks. So, okay, and I'm just really disappointed that it's not streaming to my page. This technology it changes all the time, and it's just really hard. It's not even, hi, Dawn. It's not even, I can't do anything about it. It's not even streaming on the event page, I don't believe. But nonetheless, people can always go back and rewatch this. That's what's good about it being on YouTube. Anyone can watch it. So first, before I get into my tip for today, and I do want to say right now that the tip I'm going to give you about thread a little bit later on, all credit goes to Deborah Jones. Deborah Jones is an embroidery expert. I'm going to be talking about Deborah a little bit later on when I give you the tip. I saw some people had posted some comments. I think they thought Deborah was actually going to be here with me today. Maybe I should have asked her to, but I didn't. But this tip, all credit goes to Deborah Jones. So let's talk about what's coming up with Embroidery Garden first before we get started, as more people are joining in. So coming up on Saturday, and oh my gosh, I hope that the demo from Saturday is going to stream to my Facebook page. I really, really hope that it does. But I'm going to be doing what I posted about, and that is kind of the new trend, which is couching with yarn on your embroidery machine. If you've been following me, you saw some samples that I've been posting. I did my Hello pillow. I did the couching on this pillow is the heart. I did this cute little thing, this little hanging with a bunny on it that's couched. Tomorrow, Wednesday, on Embroidery Garden's Facebook page, I'm going to be making a post about with a lot of information that I found out doing these designs, and that I'd like you to read before Saturday if you plan on watching my demo on Saturday. It's all the rage. I'm going to show you how to create your own files in PE Design 11 and in Designing Machine Embroidery's Perfect Embroidery Pro software. I'm going to do it in a way that it's very easy, that you don't have to manually digitize, that really anyone can do it. But you are going to have software that you could import an SVG file into, because that's a way that I found that you could just do it in a few quick steps. So watch tomorrow on Embroidery Garden's business Facebook page for that post that's going to have a ton of information in it. A lot of designers are starting to sell these types of files. Dawn from creativeappliques.com, she's putting out fonts. in the style to do, and other, designs, hearts, different shapes, things like that, I believe. So just watch for that, and watch for my demo on Saturday starting at 10 Central. All right. So another thing coming up, I see everyone saying they're so excited. Yeah, you're going to find out really how easy it is. And along the way of doing my samples, I found a couple of great tips that I want to share with you. So on February 16th, Caroline is doing another one of her just super popular wrapped handle clothesline bowl classes. And she's going to take you through how to create the bowl, how to add fabric, how to make a handle, and how to wrap the handle. Right now, I would say the class is at least half full. That's going to be on the 16th. And let me just go and grab, darn it, I thought that I had the direct link, but this is a link to my website that I'm putting up. And if you go to my website, along the top menu, it's going to say classes. Click on classes, virtual classes, and you'll find Caroline's wrapped handle clothesline bowl class. You can sign up for that. Also, let me grab another link here. On March 9th, try to find it. And darn it, I didn't save that link either. But if you go to Embroidery Garden's Facebook page, and there's going to be scrolling banners along the top, one of those is a link to a free virtual event I'm going to be doing called Edge to Edge Quilting with Your Embroidery Machine. That's on March 9th. You're going to learn all about edge to edge quilting. And you just have to register for it. You register so that you get the link to watch it live. You have the link to watch the replay. And, you get a free shipping code and some other codes that you'll want, if you watch the event. Star is looking forward to Caroline's class. Everyone does. Everyone, if you're not in my Facebook group, everyone's posting some beautiful bowls that they made after taking her class. I'm just kind of looking at the comments. Great samples, inspiring. Thank you, Barb. Another thing that's happening, and let me grab this. So if you place an order during February from embroiderygarden.com, and it requires shipping, and things that I sell that require shipping are hoop and press pads, my acrylic ruler, my templates for the snowballs, USB sticks. I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah, the acrylic rulers I just got back in. But if you order something that has to be shipped to you, you're going to have a scratch to win ticket included with your package. So what's the scratch to win ticket? Well, you're going to get it. And this area here, you're going to scratch it off. It's just like playing the lottery. It's a scratch off. So you scratch it off. And then underneath here will be, a code to get, X% off on your next order, or, a free USB stick shipped to you, or, it could be anything, but it's something that you will get for having purchased something that needs to be shipped. There is an expiration code on it. And there also is, it can't be used in conjunction with another coupon. Those are the only limits. But I thought it was kind of fun, something different for you. So if you order anything that needs to be shipped during February, you get one of these. Let's see. Barb needs to try the bowls. Yes. Jennifer, so many projects. Yeah, I did. The reason I did the projects, because when I first posted, just a sample of the hello I stitched out, I started getting a lot of messages and emails, people saying, oh, I like that. That looks cool, but what do I do with it? So that's why I created a bunch of projects. All right. What else? Is there anything else? Okay, just, be sure to like and follow Embroidery Garden's Facebook page. If you interact with the page, that means, reacting to a post, liking it, loving it, that sort of thing, making a comment. Facebook sees that as you having interest in the page, and they start letting my posts come up in your news feed. You can also join my In the Hoop Facebook group. There's a link to it from my Facebook page. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, because, again, like today, things don't stream to the page. You can always come to YouTube and watch. And if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you get a notification anytime I go live. And I'm also on Instagram under Embroidery Garden if you want to follow that. Okay, so let's get to what I wanted to talk about today. I got my notes all over here. Okay, so I want to talk about thread. And I know that people love, they have their brand of thread, they like it. What I'm going to talk about kind of is my journey with thread. So like many of you out there, I had, 20 brands of this thread, 30 spools of this brand, a couple of another brand. It was sort of all just a mix match of threads. And, they're all different sizes. They're all different, shapes of spools, etc. And, it was hard to store. And I got tired of it. I just got tired of the mess. And to me, just being unorganized. So about 3 years ago, I decided I'm going to only use one brand of thread. And I went with Design and Machine Embroidery, or Dime's exquisite brand thread. And I'm going to give you some reasons why I chose that here in just a second. But, if you only go with one brand of thread, no matter what brand it is, it's going to be easier to store. The spools are all the same shape. They're all the same size. It's going to be easier to organize it. It'll be easier to convert because, if you use some designs that you have to use specific thread and you don't have that thread, so you're trying to convert thread, but you've got X brand and you've got Y brand and you've got Z brand in these different colors, and you're trying to go through a ton of conversion charts. So just having one makes that easier. And when you only have one, I feel one brand of thread that you use, that it makes it easier to find what you're looking for. Anne says she did the same thing with her thread. And don't you feel so much better, so much more organized? I mean, I do. I just couldn't stand having all that different thread around. So I'm going to go to the table and show you the exquisite thread that I decided to go with and why I decided to go with this particular brand. So this is one of the spools. It's, 40 weight embroidery thread. It's polyester thread. It comes on these 1,000-meter spools. There are 288 colors. I pulled out a couple of like the pink shades because Valentine's Day is coming up. But I love the fact that there are so many different colors, shades too. So if I need a certain pink, I can find it. If I need a certain green, I can find that. So that's one reason why I love it. I love the variety and the number of different colors that they have. Another thing is I had some spools of this and my machines loved it. They loved the exquisite thread. And to me, that's a big thing. That's important. I mean, if I start using thread and my machine doesn't like it and it's shredding and it's breaking and stuff, well, that just makes my whole embroidery experience just terrible. So the fact that my machine loves it, that was another reason why I wanted to use it. Another reason, they have what I'm going to call a pop bottom. So, you just kind of pull the bottom off and you got your tail of thread and you just take your tail and then wrap it into that groove and snap the bottom back on. And then your tail is secured. It's not going to fall off. I can shake it, and my tail isn't falling off. When I was using a bunch of different threads, some of them had it. I mean, other brands of threads have, something that's going to secure the thread to it. But I had a lot of brands that didn't. And so then I just had all these tails getting caught up. And I did try the thread nets, and I tried some things that you wrap around the spool to hold the tail. Well, the problem to me with the nets are, if you have a full spool of thread, they work pretty well. But once you start using the thread and now, your spool gets to be skinnier, those nets don't stay on. They keep falling off. And I didn't want something you had to wrap around there to hold the tail on. because that's just something else I have to keep up with. I don't want to keep up with the net. I don't want to keep up with something that I'm using to wrap around. This is all self-contained. My tail is secured on here on the spool, and that's what I love. I've seen a bunch of comments come through. A lot of people love exquisite threads. And they are great. And another thing is they're readily available. A lot of local retailers carry them. A lot of stores online carry them. Of course, you can order from Design Machine Embroidery's website, but they're readily available. For me, I have a store that carries it. It's about 40 minutes away, but if I get in a bind and I need something, I would go and get it. Or, if I plan ahead, I can, put my orders in and get the colors that I need. One thing I know a lot of people like to buy some of those thread kits off of Amazon. That's fine. That's, if you want to do that, that's fine. The only thing you need to watch about that is a lot of those kits that they sell, you run out of a color, you get low on a color, they don't sell the spools individually. You have to go and buy a whole new kit. And, who wants to do that? I want to have it where I can buy individual spools. Maybe I want to stock up on the colors that I use a lot, the basic colors, but I want to be able to buy them individually. Another thing I like, the label. It's white. I can immediately see this is number 305. That's what I like about it. It's white, easy to read. The label's on the top. I had some spools that had it on the top, some were on the bottom. And, I didn't like going around, okay, what color is this? What color is this? Picking them all up. Another thing that happened with the spools of thread that I had that had a label on the bottom, the labels fell off. And then I did not know what color it was. Sometimes I didn't even know what brand it was anymore. So I like that. I can have my threads all lined up and easily see, okay, I need this color. Quick, easy, organized, saves me time. I can be stitching more than looking for a thread, etc. And another thing, and I'm sure you can do this with a lot of different brands of threads, etc. But a lot of I use PE Design 11 to digitize in. And I was easily able to take the thread chart from all 288 colors of thread and load it into PE Design. And now I just, use the drop-down menu, click on Exquisite Thread, and I can design using Exquisite Thread. Barb says she's written the number of the color on the bottom of the spool. Yeah, but why? When it's right there, you can have it right there on the front. These are the reasons why I like the brand that I decided to go with. So, everyone's going to have their own brand that they like, but maybe some of those things that I just said will, you'll look for if you decide to go with just one brand of thread. Some of you might wonder, well, what did I do with all my other brands of thread? Well, I went through them all. Some of them that the spools just had, just a little bit of thread on. I just threw them out. Yeah, I could have used it for some hand sewing or something, etc. I'm at a point in my life where it's, I don't want to deal with all that. I tossed some of that. Some of the thread was really old, and I did get rid of that. I had a couple of spools, I don't know if you guys have dogs or puppies that they had kind of mangled the spool up, they got a hold of it and mangled it up. I had kept it thinking, maybe one day I'll, unwind it and fix it or something. No, I got rid of all those. Then after I kind of weeded through, then I took what I had left. I organized it by brand. Some I knew that I wasn't ever going to think about using again. I just bagged it up and put it in a Goodwill box. And the rest of the thread that I had organized that I had left over, I kind of set my daughter-in-law up with, a thread storage system and gave it all to her to kind of build up, her thread supply. She's young. She can pick a certain thread she likes to use later on in life if that's something she wants to do. So, talking about thread storage, if you see behind me over here, this cabinet, that's how I store my thread. I use the Laser Bee Studio thread storage system. It keeps all my thread organized. I mean, I want color number 305. I can head right over there, grab it in like 2 seconds. It keeps all my thread nice and dry. I can see all my thread. It keeps it out of the light. I'm going to do another Tuesday tip later on in the year all about the Laser Bee thread storage system. So watch for that. If you want to know about their thread storage system, and it's not just for Exquisite, it's for, Isocord, Floriani, Glide, Robeson Anti. They have a ton of different systems for the different sizes of spools out there of thread, different manufacturers. If you want to just kind of go over there, check them out. It's laserbeestudio.com. So I'm going to look to see. Mary Ann just asked if those are from Laser Bee. Yes, that's my Laser Bee thread storage system. I actually have 2 cabinets hooked together on top of each other, and it rolls around. So that's great. So I'm reading comments, and then I kind of get out of my train of thought. Marcia says that when you have a ton of thread, you have to be organized, right? And like I said, I have the Exquisite thread, which has 288 colors. All my 288 colors are over there in my Laser Bee thread storage system. Plus, I have a drawer for some overflow. I have more than one spool of a certain color or something, so my extras are in there. And I have a drawer for King Star metallic. They make an insert for the King Star thread, which brings me to my next thing. So let's go back to my table again. And let's move this out of the way. And let me bring over some King Star thread. Now, they do have 16 colors. I have more than this, but I didn't bring them all out. I do need to get some more colors of the King Star to have all of them. So, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, King Star metallic made by Dime is the best metallic thread there is. And I'm sure you're going to see comments start flying saying they think so too. I don't have any kinking, no shredding, no breaking. I'm sure you've heard the stories, or maybe you've even done it before, where some people say when they work with metallic thread, they have to set it way on the other side of the room and, pull the thread out and, 2 feet to let it unkink before it enters their machine. Some people thread it through one of those styrofoam peanuts. They put it in a bowl next to their machine so it can spin around and unwind. I don't have time for all that. I don't. My whole goal is to be organized, to do things quickly and not have to mess around with those silly little, things. I don't like that at all. So again, there's 16 colors. Metallics are not just for the holidays. Sometimes people think, oh yeah, there's gold, there's silver, there's red, there's green, they only use it at the holidays. You can use King Star for anything. I put it on bags, that I make. I use it for some things. It dresses it up a little bit. It adds some shine where, where you want it. So I've even used this for freestanding lace designs. And I use it in the bobbin. There's not many metallic threads that you can use in the bobbin, and especially when you're making freestanding lace. So, that's another thing. And there's no special needle. I don't use a metallic needle. I just use mainly I use a 7511 needle, and it works great with that. I don't slow my machine down any. I'm not one though that runs my machine at top speed. My machine can run at 1,050 stitches. I don't usually run my machine that high. I'm more around 800 stitches a minute. So I have no problem. It's color fast. But I mean, it's just great. So having said all that, I'm going to get to my tip. But before I show you the actual tip, I do want to tell you that this tip, all credit for this tip goes to Deborah Jones. Now, Deborah Jones is an embroidery expert. She's been in the business for many, many years. She's an author. She's written tons of articles. I mean, you want to know about stabilizer, you want to know about needles, you want to know anything embroidery related. Deborah Jones is the person to get information from. She's, a businesswoman. She's had her own business, and she also is an inventor. She invented the embroiderer's compass, which is a great tool for new embroiderers or even for experienced embroiderers. And basically, I'm just going to tell you the basics of what it is. It moves. I don't want to take it out of the package because later on this month, I'm going to be giving this away in a giveaway on Embroidery Garden's Facebook page. But let me kind of bring it up here. As you can see, this inner part will spin around. And on the outer part, there's different fabrics listed. For example, here's vinyl. So I would spin this around to line it up here. I'd spin that over to vinyl. And then in these areas here, it's going to tell me what stabilizer to use. It's going to tell me what type of and size of a needle to use. So, I mean, and then down here, it's going to give you some comments, maybe some helpful little handy tips. This is great for really any embroiderer, and it's double-sided. So on the back side, it lists a bunch of different fabrics. All these words going around here in this outer white part are different types of fabrics. So I'm guessing there could be 20 different types of fabrics on both sides. And you turn it and it will give you all this information that you need. Barb says Deborah Jones is an amazing, who has a wealth of knowledge. She really, really is. And now to get back to this tip, I saw Deborah do this tip one day when she was on with Eileen Roach, founder of Dime, and they were doing one of Eileen's Facebook Live shows. Eileen does Facebook Live every Thursday at 1:00 on her Facebook page, Design Machine Embroidery's Facebook page. You get a ton of information. I always learn something from Eileen whenever I watch. And this particular day, Deborah Jones was on. They were talking about thread, and she gave the most amazing tip. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. This past November, when I went to the Houston Quilt Festival, I was on stage, doing demos, and Houston Quilt Festival is another story because I was only there one day. I got sick and had to leave, but I did do a demo on that preview night, and I showed this tip, saying it was from Deborah, and one of the ladies watching, she almost fell out of the chair. She was like, that's the coolest thing. That was worth the price of admission to the Houston Quilt Festival, is what I showed Deborah's tip too. So I'm going to switch the camera here. All right. So my tip, or Deborah's tip, this is Deborah Jones' tip. These Kingstar, the metallic spools, you notice they're bigger. They're bigger than their regular one. They don't have that pop bottom. You can't pull the bottom off of these. I don't know why, they aren't made like that. My guess is probably because they're bigger. I don't know. But anyway, they don't have the pop bottom. Yeah, you could use the nets. You could use other things to hold the tail on. We know that metallic thread, it's a little bit, I'll just say slippery. and it's a little more slippery than, our regular thread. This Kingstar Metallic, it's kind of, I believe I read that it was wrapped in rice silk or something like that. But anyway, it will kind of just fall off the spool, like, most metallics do. So on these spools, you're going to notice my thread isn't falling off. Okay, I can sit here, I can shake them. My thread isn't coming off. So to contain the tails, which I feel is one of the most important things with thread, we've all had that box of thread where you look at it and you just grab that big old wad of tails all stuck together, and all you can do is use your scissors and cut it out. So to contain the tail without using any kind of nets or, anything extra, this is what Deborah Jones does. Let me kind of move these things out of the way a little bit. So you're going to take off, I don't know, maybe about 8 inches or so of your thread. I'm holding the tail here in my right hand. I'm going to hold it a little bit close to the spool. Let me kind of get situated here. Now with my left hand, you see I have my fingers in the loop. And what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of spinning it around like about 3 times. Then I'm going to take this loop, put it over the top of the spool, and I'm going to pull the tail tight to the spool. Okay? And that's all there is to it. I'm going to take my scissors, cut it off. Yeah, I'm going to waste a few inches of thread, but you're going to waste a lot more thread if you don't contain the tail and you let it get all tangled up. So now that I'm trying to show you, it makes a very small little knot. My thread isn't going to come off. I can sit here and shake it. It doesn't come off. When you go back to use it, let me see if I can show you this. My finger behind it. And I don't know if you're going to see it, but it's just a small little knot. And all I'm going to do is cut that off, and boom, I'm ready to use my thread. Wasn't that the coolest tip ever? I mean, Deborah Jones was a genius to think of that. You can use this tip on thread that you have that doesn't have a pop bottom or, some other way of containing that tail. Just do the exact same thing. But like I said, it's the coolest thing ever because my tail's secured. I don't have to have something else wrapped around here. So that was your Tuesday tip. Again, all credit goes to Deborah Jones. And, it's worth your time to watch Eileen's Facebook show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Deborah Jones is on with her often. And, you get the two of them together, two leaders in our industry, and you are sure to learn something, So it's every Thursday, 1 p.m., go to their Facebook page, Designs and Machine Embroidery, and, watch. You can have it on while you're doing something else, but you will get a wealth of information. So I want to thank Deborah for that tip. Just absolutely love it. And everyone's saying, great tip. And really, so much better than having those tails just go all over the place. I mean, nice, neat, nothing comes off. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that was my Tuesday tip. I do hope that you watch my demo on Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And I really hope that it streams to my Facebook page. If it does not, I am posting links to watch it on YouTube. So watch for the post I'm going to make tomorrow too, with information all about couching with yarn. So thanks everyone for joining me today. And I'll see you in March, the first Tuesday of the month, for the March Tuesday tip. Thanks everyone. Bye.